Hello, Dancing with the Stars fans. I'm Gold Derby editor Daniel Montgomery here with our contributors Jeffrey Kare and Cordell Martin to discuss the season finale. So this is our last Dancing with the Stars chat of the season. Let's just get right into it. The Mirrorball champion for season 30 of Dancing with the Stars was Iman Shumpert, the first ever NBA basketball player to make the finals, and of course the first to win the Mirrorball trophy. Right off the bat, I just got to say that even though I was personally rooting for JoJo Siwa to win, I think Daniela Karagach, who was Iman's dance partner, was the MVP of the season. Her choreography and her ability to use this height, especially in the dances that allowed the lifts, really brought him out. And really showed what he could do in a way that no one else who has been paired with a basketball player has been able to do. What did you think about that result, Cordell? We were all thinking it last week that this might be the way it goes, but what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, if this was week one, I wouldn't think he would have won or had a shot at winning, but I think
literally zero people in our prediction center were predicting him in week one. I went back to check.
Yeah, but I think once Halloween night came along and that us routine just kind of just put him in a whole different trajectory in terms of him winning, but then also he had the support from day one. He wasn't the highest scorer consistently, but week after week the fans saved him, and like we discussed with the past two winners, you got the fan support, that's a really good chance of you taking home the Mirrorball trophy. And to top it all off, he had a perfect score for both dances. I think if he didn't receive a perfect 40 for his fusion dance, maybe we could have seen a different result. But once he got that perfect score, I was like, it's a wrap. Just giving the Mirrorball trophy now.
Yeah, I had the same feeling given his support from fans. What did you think about the result, Jeffrey?
Well, I mean, echoing a lot of what Cordell just said, I thought, well, okay, everything pretty much went according to what we speculated. And of course, it also looks like something we should really be paying attention to throughout all of next season is who hasn't ended up in the bottom two at all, because it's happened again for like the third or year in a row at least, where the winner was someone who did not end up in the bottom two at all. And what's especially, and in fact, what I should point out about Danielle's victory in particular, what makes her success all the more impressive is that she's only been on the show for a couple of seasons at this point. So hey, it's great for her that she managed to do this. As for Iman, okay, well, I of course was rooting for JoJo or Amanda to win. I have no problem with Iman winning at all. I mean, I thought they both did some very bouncy and very energetic routines last night.
It's interesting. I think Iman is my favorite winner of the last three seasons. And it's interesting because I don't think he's the best dancer of the last three winners. I think Caitlin Bristow is a better dancer than Iman Shumpert is, but I think Iman had more of the growth. I think I'm going to remember his routines, or at least a couple of them, and I couldn't tell you what Caitlin or Hannah danced in the last couple of years. And the Bachelorette's winning, they always had the fan support no matter what was happening. It was just really anticlimactic. And so this felt like a really worthy win. In a different kind of way. Like I felt, even though this season was much more competitive than it's been in a while, and they were better dancers in this season, I was happy to see him win. And what's interesting is that I totally misunderstood what the judges were going to do in this finale. I thought they were going to go, Amanda and JoJo would get the perfect scores. Maybe Iman would do okay, and then Cody would be fourth. I didn't realize just how hard they were deciding to push the underdog Iman versus the groundbreaking same-sex couple with JoJo and make that the narrative, because that fusion dance for Iman, that was not a perfect score dance. It wasn't bad. Like it was perfectly decent, but like it was after they nitpicked Amanda, for like little things, and they're like, oh, we just love you, Iman, tens. Like they were giving him, they they could have been in the bathroom and come back giving them those 10s. They really weren't watching it. So like that's when I knew it's like, okay, this is in the bag for him. What did you think, Cordell, about that narrative and the throwing of Amanda under the bus, who unfortunately didn't have the solid narrative because she's a good dancer who continued to dance well, and so that wasn't like a really great story per se.
Yeah, I think with Amanda, what happens a lot with the show is that sometimes you become the judge's favorite and their pet in the beginning, and then as the group starts to get smaller and smaller, you become the target. And unfortunately, I think they knew once she was in the bottom three during the semifinals that she really didn't have a shot. So they were just like, we're glad that you had this great journey. You made it to the finals, but we know you're not going to win, without saying it to her. And then also, I just felt like they kind of lost steam in the finals, just with their freestyle. Like the other three were just entertaining and exciting. Hers was just it was nice, but it just wasn't memorable. And she really needed that memorable dance to really be competitive for the Mirrorball Trophy. In terms of the narrative, the underdog narrative, um, it was very interesting to see because oftentimes, if there's the front runner like JoJo, that's who they're pushing. That's who they're pushing, especially in the finals. But to your point, for them to kind of do about face and say, "Oh, Iman, like we're rooting for you to win," it was just like, okay, well, what's the agenda here? Are you guys trying to push for JoJo or Iman or what? And I think they probably just wanted for great TV to have the surprise that Iman won. So,
Which wasn't that surprising
oh,
ultimately,
it was
if you've been paying attention. What did you think about that storyline, Jeffrey, and Amanda's two low scores?
Well, I mean, I guess when you do consistently great work throughout the season and you're already an experienced dancer beforehand, you kind of start to get taken for granted after a while. I mean, I thought Amanda and Alan both did, brilliant work in both rounds last night. But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what went wrong with, I mean, even though they didn't necessarily get really low scores in general, still the fact they weren't as high as they should have been, well, again, I just goes to show how competitive this season was, and I guess with Iman, him not being as experienced of a dancer, unlike Amanda or JoJo, must have, I guess, helped him a lot because, again, people, I guess, think that well, even though it makes sense why Dancing with Stars gets celebrities who are already experienced dancers. Well, I guess viewers are just more interested in people who aren't as experienced, seeing how they do.
Yeah, and going into those freestyles, it's interesting. I don't think any of the four freestyles was like an all-timer. But they were all good in their different ways. I agree, Cordell, that Amanda didn't really, and I chalk it up to Alan. Like he's been in the finals a few times. I couldn't tell you what his freestyles have been. And he did something I liked with Amanda's routine, which is like demonstrated a little bit of a bunch of different dance styles. But again, it wasn't really it was more like a nerdy sort of, like if you're a dance nerd, you'd be like, oh, that's a little paso, that's a little salsa, there's a little cha-cha. But like otherwise, it's not, you want to see Iman throwing Daniela in the air, and that's what you're going to respond to. So I do think, and I also think of those final four couples, Amanda and Alan had the least chemistry. Like they never felt like a really perfect match for each other, even though they're quite good together. But like I thought JoJo had the best danced freestyle, while Iman had the most entertaining one. What did you think, Cordell?
I agree. I thought JoJo's was really good, from an entertaining standpoint, from a technical standpoint. I thought it was a really great routine. And then to your point, I thought Iman's was very energetic, full of energy. And then Cody's was very surprising too. I just didn't know what to expect, especially with the song choice. I was like, either this is gonna be a hot mess or very entertaining. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What did you think of the freestyles, Jeffrey?
Well, let's see. I thought Cody and Cheryl, their no freestyle was in round one, right?
No, the freestyles were
Uh,
round two.
Oh yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought Cody and Cheryl did their freestyle in round two was nicely flamboyant. I thought Amanda and Elms was okay. Well, their freestyle, I thought, well, okay, they not only went all in on the dance, but also the theatrics. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, JoJo and Jenna. I mean, I thought it was such an awesome high note for JoJo in particular to go out on, and Iman and Daniela, well, so highly energetic.
Yeah, and now that Iman has won the Mirrorball Trophy, where do you think he sort of stands on in like the pantheon of Dancing with the Stars winners? Like you don't have to like put him; he's exactly number 17 out of but like around where like how do you feel about him? As a Mirrorball champion, Cordell compared to some others.
I mean, for me personally, he would probably rank in probably like my top 10 favorite winners of all time. I just thought it was great just to see his journey and him becoming a dancer and really embracing it. And as we mentioned earlier, kudos to Daniela, because I mean, for the second year in a row, she was able to get a particular type of celebrity all the way to the finals. So she was able to get Nelly, who's a hip hop star, all the way to the finals, and now NBA star as well. So it was just beautiful just to see him just embrace it and really enjoy the experience.
Yeah, well, where do you think he stands, Jeffrey, among all-time winners?
Man, I really have to think about this because there's just now 30 of them at this point. I mean, I'll say that, well, I agree with what's been said earlier that he is definitely the best winner we've had in a while. I mean, I'll say that maybe somewhere, I guess, for now, I'll say he's somewhere in the middle. I may have to, or I guess, rewatch of, some of the performances from previous winners. But hey, like I said, best winner we've had in a while, and I'd say certainly in you know good tier at least.
Yeah, I put him in the good tier. Like he's not someone I'd put like on an all-time level. Like yeah, I haven't been watching for the entirety of Dancing with the Stars' run, but like you've got the high highs like your Meryl Davis, your Jordan Fisher, your Alfonso, your Lori Hernandez, and then you've got your lows like your Bobby Bones. And he's sort of like somewhere in the middle there where I'm happy to have seen him win. Like he's sort of like I put him a little bit above Rashad Jennings because I feel like I would have preferred Normani that season. But this time, like I'm not as annoyed that he beat any of the people who didn't win. So I prefer Iman to Rashad even on that level. So yeah, I'm happy with him like in a way that I didn't think I would be a few weeks ago when it seemed like he was gaining momentum. I was like, is he going to win the Mirrorball Trophy? And I'm like, okay, he won the Mirrorball Trophy. That's not bad. We had two bachelorettes in a row who kind of coasted all the way to the finale and won the Mirrorball trophies. And before that was Bobby Bones. So like this was a nice course correction for sort of like the mission of the show to be an amateur dance competition where someone grows and evolves and shows something new. We got to see something new out of a basketball player we've never seen before. And we got the first same-sex couple with JoJo and Jenna. And I hope this becomes just a regular matter-of-fact thing we see next season. Next season, let's do there needs to be a male partnership just to not like, because I feel like they're a little bit scared of that. And I'm like, do it. And even JoJo and Jenna, all of their clip packages were like, we're sisters. That's all we are. We are sisters to each other. That's exactly how we love each other. Did I mention sisters? So they were very insistent on avoiding any kind of sense of a showman's with two ladies. Especially because obviously she's married to Val. But yeah. So what did you think of the season as a whole, and what like the future might hold for Dancing with the Stars, however much longer it lasts after 30 seasons? Cordell.
Yeah, initially I was a little on the cast. But I will say this is probably one of my favorite seasons of all time. I thought it was very competitive. Very unpredictable in terms of you just never know who was going to be in the bottom, whose time was up, who was gonna have their highs and lows. So it was just great just to see that. I thought the producers did a great job with the themes this season. I thought that they were very entertaining, exciting, and really brought out the best in the contestants. For the future, I think, what they should do is definitely just try to continue just having a diverse cast. That was another thing I loved of how diverse it was, not only just, in terms of race and ethnicity, but your age, your sexual orientation, things like that. I think that they should continue doing that, not only just for the celebrities, but also for the pros as well.
Yeah, definitely for the pros as well. What did you think about the season and and what's to come, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree with a lot of what Cordell just said. I loved how competitive it was. It was very interesting to see, okay, how everything was going to go down week by week. Also the themes were very clever. And I especially loved how, as we were getting closer to the final, it was getting more and more competitive as, you just really never knew who was going to make it or not. And as for future, well, I mean, and I guess I also agree with Cordell that diversity in terms of celebrity casting, and I mean I'll be curious to see if we get any more same-sex partners moving forward, whether it be two women, two females, and even two males at some point. I mean, who knows when the date for that will come. And well, yeah, hey, as long as they keep getting great talents for future seasons and make them competitive, hey, I'll definitely be very interested in continuing to watch.
And just to play like a little thought experiment, if they did have a male partnership in the next season, who do you think the pro should be, Cordell?
Oh,
Put you on the spot. I have an idea. Of who would work, I think, for the show and for the producers and for the audience, like all around.
I mean, the dream pairing, if I was the casting director, I would go with Artem and Ricky Martin.
Ooh.
Yeah, he did fanboy just Ricky Martin a couple seasons ago. Yeah. I think Nikki might have to worry like a little bit. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Man, now I guess maybe. No, I mean, I do like the idea of Artem and Ricky Martin. That would be something. And as for other ideas, well, man, this is tough. I mean, I'll say that I guess it would be interesting if Anna's husband Val ends up being paired with a man, given that, well, she was just paired with a woman, so hey, maybe you might as well toss the coin on that. And as for a gay celebrity Val could be paired up with, man, I have no idea. I mean,
yeah, I have no idea about I was just thinking about the pro. And actually, Jeffrey, I agree with you about Val. That was the name I was thinking of. One, because he's such a popular pro on the show, just in general. I think the audience will more readily accept that if they, even had a problem with it. Two, he's married to a female pro. So that's going to give the producers some sense of, oh, it's the producers will be able to say no homo, which will be a gross thing, but it's the thing that might happen. And he's also just a really good, nurturing pro who I think would be a really good partner. So I think that would be the right pro to go with. And as Jeffrey said, especially after Jenna has just done it, it would be really a great narrative going into next season. She was paired with a same-sex partner and got to runner up in the finals. And he, it's been a while since he's won a Mirrorball trophy. It's been a few seasons. He's give him a ringer and give him a shot.
So you guys are onto something, and knowing ABC, they would pair him with the Bachelor that just came out the closet.
Oh boy! Oh no! Oh no! Oh. Oh. Oh,
So
you're so right, and I hate that you put that in the universe, Cordell.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need another Bachelor champion.
Well,
pick
maybe
ourselves.
ABC won't want to do that now that he's doing a show on Netflix. They don't want to promote a Netflix show, so maybe that'll get us out of that.
Well, I mean, Chriselle and Christine were both on Netflix
That's
shows.
true. That's true.
So just
Yeah.
let's prepare ourselves for it.
Boy. It's like, why not Gus Kenworthy or someone else like who's like his, Colton's mentor through his journey or whatever. That would be a better partnership. Oh boy, now I'm scared, Cordell. Thank you. Well, with that, there's a lot to think about until next season. Knock on wood that next season there will be another season next fall of Dancing with the Stars. I'm looking forward to it in a way that I didn't think I'd be looking forward to it at the beginning of the season. I was not like that enthused by the cast at first, and I'm really enthused in hindsight. So thank you, Jeffrey, for joining me. Thank you, Cordell, also, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Dancing with the Stars producers, for taking all of our advice next season, except for Colton. And we'll see you next season.